Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Alright. Let's go.
This is the second time I played D&D.
I've always designed games and played a lot of games, but I really got into it in 2011. I lived with two people who ran a lot of games. One of them is still my dungeon master, and I've been playing on and off ever since.
Never played it, never played anything interactive. It was always on my bucket list.
The first time I played, I actually filled in for a guy that couldn't make it to a session.
What we'll be using today as well is Ardent Roleplay. It's a cool new augmented reality app that we're going to be using for basically D&D. It kind of shows scenes, areas that you'll be actually exploring as an adventuring party that you can kind of interact with and kind of get some sense of what's actually in front of you as characters. It takes a lot of effort and energy as a GM to describe something properly. Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, and this is how I can understand it, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing and then kind of passing different bits of information to different people to say you see this, you know this, what do you want to do about that? And you got a critical fail.
Critical fail!
We started doing initially when it came to Ardent Roleplay and where we wanted to go by creating those deeper stories and deeper character interactions and all that kind of stuff. You guys are all part of adventures. You've been tasked by the governor to basically hunt down a potential necromancer. You got a vibe. You got an 18 kind of aesthetic going we're here to solve the big problems.
Because my perception is usually pretty high, I can see a lot of things that the other people can't see, which means that I can kind of take advantage of situations a lot easier than I would be able to in just a normal tabletop standard.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap. I've played pen and paper where you have no miniatures or anything, and I've played with full terrain sets, and it's all pretty fun, but to actually watch something happen there, when we fell through the floor, it actually happened on the screen, was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
The hardest part is subconscious metagaming, that when you say, your investigation check has yielded this result, but then the whole party hears it because you're at the same table.
It'd be very hard to be like, hey guys, I know the Dungeon Master just said I've got all this stuff in the corner, but don't look at it because you characters can't see it. I use my powers of perception and no text on this slate, baby. I pop my collar, I have no worries in the world. With this, it's this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
As he does that...
What? Oh, that's sick.
I think the customization of the characters is a very interesting idea too, because I often am very particular about how my characters look like. We'll still use our imagination to fill in the gaps. Just because we have a model in front of us doesn't mean the imagination ends there.
Imaginations are endless, and I think having the visuals kind of brings it into a cool world. It's fine.
I think about the stories I've told with people a lot when it comes to just tabletop games in general. And this gives that option to have a little bit more depth potentially, or a bit more of a different way of kind of showing what is possible when it comes to storytelling. And those stories that I've created and told have become important things that I've shared with my friends and ultimately brought us closer together as people and kind of made memories.
Two people in the necromancer are dead together but perfectly holding hands with each other.
Congratulations, and it is of course on to the next adventure, to the next story, but whatever that will be, we'll see for next time.
Find out next time.
Find out next time.